How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about Robinhood Markets, ticker symbol HOOD. What we noticed, they ended up releasing earnings. Of course, they ended up having a strong sell off. They ended up disappointing. But one thing that I did notice, Kathy Wood did load up on shares and it did have quite a strong pop. And as far as for the coming week, I want to make sure I get you guys prepared, especially if you're looking to swing trade it or maybe you're interested in taking an investment. I won't be wasting any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder, you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is a technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in the bearish case scenario and as well as in the bullish case scenario. And then we're going to go on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information. The reason why this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to take a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know the buying and the selling behavior on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for HOOD. Let's see how it performed on Friday. So it ended up closing at $12.73, being up 9.65%. On the low, it tested $9.94, and then on the high, testing $12.86. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you could see we traded at 69.489 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 27.856 million shares. So we did have well above the average in regards to volume, and it's part of the reasons why we saw some strength in the stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is the daily chart, we can see from the RSI down below, it's at 30.64. And then when we take a look at our moving averages on the chart, we are below the 100-day, the 50-day, and as well as the 21-day EMA. And as you can clearly see, Robinhood has been on the downtrend with the stock being in a bear market. But on the Friday, we ended up seeing an influx of volume. There was a lot of buying pressure, seeing a low of $9.94 and then having that pop going to $12.86. If we see strength in the market for the coming week, Robinhood can really start looking interesting. And one of the reasons being is if it can make that move up, getting to the 21-day EMA, right around $14.98. So that $15 level is going to be something that you're going to want to keep a very close eye on. So if I was actually going to be thinking about swing trading this stock, I'd literally wait for a pullback or give it some more time to see what the price action really looks like. But from what I'm seeing, and since we did have some strength in the market on the Friday, Robinhood does look like it's primed and ready to go, especially if we see increased volume. So keep a close eye on this one, but if it does decide to pull back, then of course you want to see if it could hold up the $10 level, right? And if it broke through that $10 level, this is where it could start really getting interesting, getting into the mid nines. And as far as for the book value of Robinhood, it's right around $8.44. So I really don't see it going that low, but again, it's the market. It could just say, you know what? Yes, we are going to go lower in regards to sentiment, but who knows? But I just wanted to make sure you guys know that. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for HOOD. As we scroll down further on the page, green rows indicate new positions and red rows indicate closed positions. So we're going to look at the filings for January the 28th. So we see we have Goldman Sachs Innovative Equity ETF that purchased 36,465 shares. We also have Goldman Sachs again with the Market Beta US Equity ETF that purchased 847 shares. We have Evolution Wealth Advisors LLC that purchased just over 3.8 million shares. We have Amplius Wealth Advisors LLC that purchased 214 shares. We have Mizuho Securities USA LLC that purchased 100,000 shares. We also have First Trust Skybridge Crypto Industry and Digital Economy ETF that purchased 42,270 shares. And then we also have Berkshire Bank that purchased 14,434 shares. And then we see a closed position from Ironwood Financial LLC. LLC. And then we could see if we even go any further, there have been institutions that have been loading up as well and closing out some positions, but for the most part, institutions have been buying up. Now, when we take a look at the short interest, the dark pool short volume ratio is at 45.77%, and then for the dark pool short volume, it is at 15.96 million shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 95,000, updated 23 minutes ago, and then for the short borrow fee rate, it's at 2.54%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we could see for the close of the 27th, it was at 59.63, and then for the close of the 28th, being at 45.77. So it has gone down significantly, but one thing that is very clear, Robinhood does continue to have short squeeze potential. So now let's move on to the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for Hood. So we see here on the inflow it's at 160, and then on the outflow it's at 127. Keep in mind these numbers are in the millions. So overall it was an inflow day. Taking a look at the breakdown, on the large it was 1.86, on the medium it was 82.79, and then on the small it was 75.68. When we take a look at the outflow side, you can see on the large it was 1.13, on the medium it was 70.19, and then on the small it was 55.47. Taking a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you could see for the 27th it was 0.87 million, and then for the 28th, so the Friday that just passed, it was at 0.72 million. Analyzing the numbers even further for the small scale orders that tends to represent the retail side, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at what happened on the medium, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at the large, which we just covered, which represents whales, institutions, and funds, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was at 8.08%. So it is up there, but what this tells us, there was a good amount of trading on the Friday. We also did notice this from the above average volume. So this is one of these plays that you're going to want to keep a very close eye on going into the coming week. So now let's move on to the final thoughts, and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for Robinhood, the first thing I want to go over, and this will be great for the value investors that are out there, if you're looking at the book value of this stock, it is around $8.44. So when it pulled all the way back just under $10, there was no surprise there, where there was a lot of interest in regards to buyers stepping in and pushing the stock back all the way to the $12 range. So if it does decide to pull back, and if Robinhood starts trading below $10 at some point, whether this time throughout the year, there could be an opportunity here, especially since they did mention in regards to their earnings, they have explained that they're going to be having lower numbers in regards to guidance and as far as revenue. But on the recent report, they ended up beating revenue estimates. But as far as what I see for Robinhood, hey, I'm going to say it right now. As far as interest rate hikes and so forth, I don't think money's going to be flowing into the economy, or I should say most particular into the stock market, as much as it was in 2021 and as well as 2020. So them putting out that disappointing guidance is not surprising to me, and this is why I see downside is available inside of this stock, and there's no need to rush into it if you're looking for a long-term investment. In regards to the price action now, things can get very interesting if Robinhood can break through $13.50. If it is able to do that, then we could potentially get a move going to $15. But again, this is going to be predicated on the fact that we see strength inside of the market. And remember what I said, that Cathie Woods on the Friday ended up loading up on shares. And we know already there's a lot of bears that go after Cathie Wood stocks. So this is why I say you could see a potential pullback. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information, it does continue to have short squeeze potential, and we also do see institutions have been loading up on shares. So like I said, if we continue to have demand in the market for Hood, you could see some strong moves in price action, why you need to pay attention to those key levels. The only time I see this stock starting to look really weak, unless it breaks below the $11 area and starts making its way below 10. Aside from that, if it is able to hold up the $12 range, it could get very interesting for this play. Keep it on your radar. That's why I want to make sure you guys are up to date with it. And if you are an investor, I would just be patient, because like I said, I do see some more downside for the stock in the future. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.